Right then. Well, as you can see, I am down at the turn. Just walked in the door. Got some stuff put away. The very first thing I did was look for those important papers that were sitting in that credenza over there. They're not here. That means the title for the Jeep is not here. That means I won't be able to do the vehicle swap this weekend. Not gonna lie, I'm chomping at the bit. Yeah. So I'll have to give Frank a call here and let him know that this weekend it ain't gonna happen. I have to go get a duplicate title. I was talking to Mia this morning and she's trying to, she wasn't involved in the removal of the papers. That was all me. I'm the one that grabbed them and put them in a box or a bag or something and got them out of here just so they wouldn't burn up in a fire if this place went up or something, you know. So I don't know where they are. This moving transition shit, everything gets staged in the great room at the lake house in boxes, and until the time comes for it to get divvied up and put into its respective place. Probably not a good idea because it's going to be a while before certain rooms get remodeled to the point where stuff can go where it needs to go. Shit show. Tell you what, rolling in this park, yeah. Whoever took over my lawn mowing duties is doing a shitty job. Looking at the vacant lot across the road here, that thing looked like a golf course when I was doing it. Now it's up to your shins with weeds. Mia called me this morning. She's always so cute when she wakes up. Hello. Cute thing. But she had to check on the diva daughter, and the diva daughter went to the hospital and actually got a pain blocker. It's a shot. It's like a super nitrous version of Novocaine. It lasts for like 3 days. And they inject it in the infected or the area, the affected area where the pain is, and it just kills everything and numbs it all. So she's doing much better. But she's going to have to keep going in and getting that re-administered. But Mia pulled some strings and made that happen, along with the trauma surgeon husband. Yeah, I'm sure he had a big say in it. But anyway, journey down was uneventful. Except for the fact when I started the Jeep this morning, the battery light came on again. See what I mean about how it's starting to nickel and dime me and cause me worry and mistrust? So I don't know what's going on. So I got out while it was running, took my fluke meter, my electric meter, put it on the battery, and the battery is charging. That means the alternator is working. 14.7 volts or some shit. I shut the Jeep off. I tested the battery itself. 12 something. Battery's fully charged. I don't know what it is. So I discovered if you start the Jeep and that happens, the light comes on, stays on, shut the Jeep off, start it again, and the light goes away. One more thing I got to tell Frank. One more little idiosyncrasy about this vehicle. One little gremlin. I got a feeling by the time I list off all the little quirks about this thing, he's going to go, no, we don't do the trade. This sounds like a lemon. Oh, and the change oil light came on. Yeah. 3,000 miles has rolled by. The change oil message came on. So when I was at Menards this morning, I'm going to do Frank a solid, and I'm going to change the oil and filter for him. He's old, decrepit. He can't do it himself. His son, pushing 400 pounds, shaped like a potato. He can't do it. So some night this upcoming week, I'll run it up on the ramps, change the oil and filter, reset the idiot light, and that'll be done for Frank. Anyway, back to Mia. So after she got done talking to her daughter, who called her right in the middle of our conversation, and of course the whole world comes to a halt when that happens. I was talking out loud at the lake house as I was walking around loading stuff up after that happened, and I was like, you know what? I'd love to have a woman that was my life partner that put me first. I was number one on the list. I was truly her king. Mia tells me I'm her king. But then her behaviors don't back it up. If somebody else calls, oh, the boss is calling. She doesn't let it go to voicemail and keep talking to me. I gotta go. Click, she's gone. If her daughter calls, oh, Diva daughter's calling. I gotta go. Click, she's gone. Oh, my grandson's calling. Gotta go. Click, she's gone. There's something called voicemail. I'm number 18 on the list of importance. Hell, the Amish Mafia is more important than me. Oh, my neighbor's calling. Gotta go. Oh, Miss Mary across the alley's calling. Gotta go. What the hell? I'm like an afterthought. It's the feeling I get. Yeah, it'd be nice for her to send a text message or make one of those custom messages as a response to somebody calling. Can't talk right now. I'm focusing on my king. Wishful thinking. The only time I don't talk to her or pick up the phone is if I'm on a service call in a customer's house. I don't have my personal phone on me. It stays out in the van. First thing I do when I get in the van is pick up the phone, see who messaged me, and then I respond. Last night, when I was driving home, the Jeep was so loud and I had the tunes cranked up that I never heard the beep on the phone telling me I had a text message from Mia, so I didn't discover that till I rolled into the driveway and shut everything down. Fortunately, and that was 10 minutes prior, fortunately, she didn't pass out for the night. And she talked to me for about 45 seconds until she sensed I was punchy, and she said goodnight and hung up. I apologized this morning for my punchiness last night, but she's got to understand, when she's punchy, she takes it out on me. Yeah. I'm not allowed to do the same to her. What's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. No, I got to take the high road and rise above and be the better person. I have to be the gentleman at all times and the freak behind closed doors. Or wherever. So on the way down, everything was fine. But for how long? That's what I'm thinking. How long before a wheel bearing goes out? Or the driver's side front CV joint goes out? I already replaced the passenger side. That grenaded a year ago. Rob helped me with that. How long before something else monetarily detrimental happens to that thing and it truly starts the nickel and dime process? And I end up like Mia, where she drops $8,000 into her truck to get it back to new. Nope. I'll do that on a pickup truck, something that's useful as a tool, but not on a toy like the Jeep. So anyway, I stopped at Menards. I got 2 sheets of brown paneling for this. It's gonna look really cool, but $80. I picked up another couple gallons of vinegar because that is working really well. Again, it's not killing the root of the weed, I don't think. I'll know. We'll do a little experiment here. I'll go to a weed that is dead, appears to be dead, and I'll just watch it. And if it sprouts again, I know that phenomena is accurate. It kills the top part of the plant, but it doesn't kill the root. That will suck. Bought another 2 gallons of that. This time I didn't make the mistake of hauling it down in the bed of the trailer. I did that last time. The bed of my trailer is not wooden planks or anything like that. It's metal grate. They call it expanded metal. Yeah. Well, through the course of driving down here and the trailer bouncing, it wore a hole. There was something sharp on there, and it wore a hole in the bottom of one of the jugs of vinegar. And I get here to the house, and I'm like, I smell vinegar. I look. One of the jugs was empty. Pretty near empty. Oh yeah, punched a hole in the bottom of it, and it all drained out on the road on the way down here. FML. Good thing it's only $3 and something a gallon. But still. So this time I put the jugs in the Jeep. Sometimes I'm not the brightest bulb in the pack. I'm not a narcissist, I admitted that. So I picked up those 2 sheets of paneling. As I'm loading them up into the trailer, out in the parking lot, I noticed that one of the sheets of paneling is damaged. Yeah, the edge of it is all smashed and monkeyed up. Gee, Ken, you didn't notice that when you were in the store? You just grabbed the sheet of paneling and threw it on the cart, grabbed another sheet of paneling, threw it on the cart, made your way to the checkout. Yeah. So now I got to be creative in which edge I use when I put 2 of these panels together on this wall. And the monkeyed up edge goes on the outside where it's covered up with trim. Trim fixes everything. Yes. Bought 6 sticks of trim for that wall. At about 7 something a stick. Walked out of Menards with almost a $200 bill. Costing me $200. Then I had to go to Home Depot and buy 2 2x6 planks to make the beams for the ceiling in the bathroom that I didn't finish. That wasn't so bad. That was $12. But it all adds up, right? Right. I went to the cable company to drop off my equipment. This is about 9:35. I rolled into the parking lot. No cars, no lights. I'm like, are they closed on Saturdays? So I roll up to the door and I look. No! They open at 10. Most people on this planet are up and going on a weekend 7, 8 in the morning. Things to do, people to see, places to go. So I had to sit in the parking lot. I was the first one there until 10 when they opened the door. And right about 9:45, 9:50, the people started pouring in like ants in my camper. Yeah. I'm like, oh, hells no. I'm the first one here. I was not about to stand out in front of the door like some miscreant clown on Black Friday morning, waiting to be the first one into the store and run to your designated item that you want to get. So I was sitting in the Jeep, chain smoking like an altar boy and listening to my calm me down music. People are pouring in like ants, and they're getting out of their vehicles right away and going and standing at the door like a Black Friday event. I'm like, all I gotta do is drop off my cable box. There's one guy that works there. I like him, right? He actually saw that I was the first. He was in the store. They were in the store getting stuff ready to open the doors. He saw that I was the first one there. So when this mob of people rushed in the door, he pointed at me and he says, "I'm ready for you." I'm like, dude, you're awesome. So I was first in line. I went up to the counter, put my equipment on the table. I said, yeah, I'm selling a house, just dropping off the equipment so I don't get charged for it. He scanned it, did some shit on the computer, printed out a receipt that I returned it. Have a nice day. And I was first in and first out. Nice. And then I came down here, and here I am. Now, Mia, going back to Mia, calling me all sexy sleepy. I'm gonna go back to sleep and take a nap. The diva daughter said I should, otherwise I'll get sick. I'm like, all right, I'll see you around supper time. Are you being mean again? You need to stop being mean or I'm going to spank you. I said, spank lightly and down low. You always got your mind in the gutter. So she's sleeping. And she didn't set an alarm. And I'm probably right. She'll chime in around 1, 2 in the afternoon. I just woke up, sorry. I think she's intending on coming here to the turd and helping me. I don't know. She just flies by the seat of her pants, it seems. Does whatever the wind tells her to do. My luck. Oh yeah, the boss called. He needs me to run him around to some different home centers today, so I'm going to go drive for them. That happens. You'll see me shopping for a new woman. Getting tired of doing all this shit by myself. I'm not going to lie. 2 people working on a project. One person doing one thing, the other person doing something else. Doubly productive. It's done twice as fast. But she told me she loves me. So that's something. FML. I brought some food down because as a broke loser, I literally can't go to the cafe and drop $16 on a breakfast. If I had a sugar mama, I could. Here, pay for breakfast, lady. Thank you. So I brought some food. And I had this great idea what to have for breakfast. It's easy. I don't have any eggs in the house because I haven't gone to the grocery store yet. I'm just dreading it. Walk out of there with a $200 and some bill spent. So I thought, well, I bought waffles at the dollar store the other day. I'll have waffles for breakfast. So I throw the waffles in the cooler. I throw my syrup in the cooler. I throw some butter in the cooler, milk, some steaks, a couple of packages of ramen noodles. Yeah, there, we're good to go. On the drive down here, I'm like, ooh, good, I get to have some Eggo buttermilk waffles for breakfast. And then I remembered, my 4-slice toaster is at the lake house. How am I going to make the waffles? Trust me, there's always a workaround. There's always a workaround. I got 2 options. I could either fire up the oven and heat the inside of this bitch like a sauna and lay them on the racks of the oven and cook them that way. Or I could grab my big frying pan and I could put some butter in it and I'll fry them. That's what I'm doing. Fried bacon and fried waffles. What the hell? So, got to formulate a game plan here because I essentially have about a day because it's now going on 11 o'clock and I want to cut out of here tomorrow by noon, so that's a day. So since it's sunny, it's nice. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s both days. Um, First thing I'm going to do is continue to paint the cabinet doors now that I got the right color paint. So we'll set up the sawhorses outside, we'll lay them all out, and we will get those painted. See, now that's something Mia could be doing if she was here while I'm working on the paneling. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do that. We got to paint the faces of the cabinets in there, the rest of them. That gobbles up a lot of time. 2 coats for proper coverage. I'm particular when it comes to this, so I want my roller marks nice and straight, not all zigzaggy. Yeah, so that's going to gobble up a lot of clock. And then I'm going to start on this stuff here, right? And that's pretty much, I think, all I'm going to be able to get done on this trip. Yeah. So be it. At least something gets done. Now, one of the other things I was going to have to do was clean that Jeep out so Frank and I could do the swap. But now I don't have to do that. And if Mia does wake up before the crack of supper time, I could actually have her clean the Jeep. She likes cleaning and detailing vehicles. She does it to her truck all the time. So I could put her on that task. While I'm working on other things. But as it stands right now, the vehicle swap is not going to take place until next weekend when I come back down here again to keep working on this money pit. This is another reason I'm kind of convinced that this trade on the vehicles is a good idea. Because the very expensive tires that I put on that Jeep are fast wearing out. Mudder tires that you put on an off-road truck, the rubber compound that's in the tire that it's made of is pretty soft and buttery, and they melt away pretty quick. That's why you don't buy big gnarly tires like mine and they give you a 60,000 mile tread life warranty on them. It's more like 15,000. Because they're not designed for highway use. They're designed for off-road traction. They look cool, which is why us guys buy them. They're all gnarly and nasty looking, but they're soft and buttery. They're like snow tires, and they don't last long on a vehicle if you're just driving it on the road like I do. So the tires are about 3/4 of the way gone. And since I'm kind of a planner, in my head I'm going, oh shit. Next year, possibly, I'll have to buy a new set of tires for the Jeep. And that's going to cost around $1,500. I'll get out of having to do that if I trade this off. And on the truck, since I don't plan on doing much, if any, off-roading with it, I can get a light-duty truck tire that has a 60,000 mile tread life warranty on it because it's made out of a harder rubber compound. When the time comes to get tires, if I remember right, looking at Frank's truck when he brought it over here to show it off. The tires were in great shape. So once again, a win-win situation for me. Now I know I said that I don't want to stick Frank with a mechanical nightmare, where it starts nickeling and diming him. But he knows what he's getting. He knows he's getting a 2010 Jeep Wrangler. He knows the mileage. Another potential looming mechanical problem with the Jeep is the fuel pump in the gas tank is starting to get weak. How do I know this? Because when you turn the key on a vehicle, if you just turn the key and start it and it pops right off, your fuel pump is nice and strong. It's pumping good and strong. When the fuel pump starts to wear out or get weak, you go to start the vehicle and you turn the key right away and the starter's going, it'll and then it goes. Because that pump has to build up pressure in the fuel system to around 65 psi before the injectors will start spraying the gas. If the pump is getting weak, the injectors don't open up right away and it just cranks. That's what the Jeep's starting to do. So what I got to do is I turn the key, but I don't start it, and I can hear the pump running, and I wait for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then I hit the key, and boom, she pops right up. The pump is building up the pressure, whereas before, it was there just right away. So eventually, soon, fuel pump's going to fail, and that means I got to drop the gas tank down, because that's where the fuel pump is. It's in the gas tank, and pay a couple $100 for an electronic fuel pump. Just like I did in a video several years back on the winter beater. That fuel pump failed me in the middle of a drive. Beer, 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 beer. Truck shuts down. What the hell is I going? Fuel pump shit out. Yeah, I did that repair out here in the driveway like a clampet. Yep. Didn't have a nice fancy NASCAR shop to jack the vehicle up. And, oh yeah, and I think if I remember right, I had probably a quarter tank of gas in there. And that had a big tank, so that was a challenge, dropping the gas tank out of the truck. And then the straps, the metal straps that hold the tank up. Yeah, those were all rotted out. Couldn't get the bolts off. Snapped those off in the process of dropping the straps so I could drop the tank. Had to go out and buy new straps. That was 50 some bucks. Oh yeah. So, giving the Jeep to Frank. Fortunately for him, I don't think he plans on driving this thing much. Again, the reason he told me he wants it is so that he can tow it behind his motorhome when he goes on trips. Which I honestly don't think he does. I think he has a motorhome because he has money and he likes to buy things. But I don't think, we're going out to Arizona this year. I don't think so. But a lot of people that have motorhomes, they have Jeeps on tow bar systems hooked up behind the motorhome because they're easy to tow, and that way they have something to drive around town when they park their motorhome at the campground. That's what he wants it for. So he says. Personally, in the back of my mind, I think he's going to flip it. He's a wheeler dealer. So I think he thinks he can get big money for that Jeep if he buys low and sells high. I don't know what he spent on this pickup truck that I'm getting. As a wheeler and dealer, he might have went to an auto auction and picked it up for $500. And now he's going to get a $16,000 something Jeep in trade. He's going to turn around, sell it for $16,000, and make a big profit. If that's the case, all the power to him. Me, I don't have the time, the energy, or the ambition to try to get $16,000 for my Jeep. I already talked about this in a video. I don't want the tire kickers. I don't want, I'll be there at 7:30 on a Wednesday night, and then they don't show up. I got to list it on a website. I got to entertain text messages and phone calls and answer questions. No. I don't have time to sell the Jeep proper. I don't have time to go into a dealership and haggle with them using the Jeep as a trade-in on a new truck and then go into debt to pay the difference between the cost of the new truck and what I get for the Jeep, where they inherently lowball you. No. I just want it gone. So if Frank wants to flip it and make money, I don't care. Bye now. Yep. I have a need and a use for a truck. Frank's truck appears to be a great truck. Therefore, I'm doing it. That is all. All right, so I'm going to start frying up some waffles and bacon because I'm hungry. And we're going to get crack-a-lacking on stuff. So I guess I'll chime in once I actually start to get productive, and we'll go from there. And maybe my beautiful possible trophy wife will come rolling up to the turd here soon, and everything will get easier and better. Fingers crossed.